Time for me to get a party started. And yeah, I didn't go around and talk to everybody. Wait, should I talk to Solus? Or I did talk to Solus. Or I actually think I did it off game. Or wait, was I waiting to talk to Solus on camera? Well, not that I have an actual camera. Anyway, let's go deal with it. I just looked how many inventory I had and should be good to go with what I think I didn't.
My heart.
Okay, I did then.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
Taken his army. He lacks the conventional forces to take Orlais. He must see Orlais destroyed utterly by whatever means possible. Not merely thrown into chaos.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah,
later.
I did talk to him about the Grey Wardens. Or was that the in-between part? I thought I was... I don't know. Okay, I'm not even talking to anybody else. I talked to Dorian on the way down. He didn't even say anything about the fade. I got my seeds. I have 44 inventory. I'm sure that's as low as I can go right now. Oh, I have to judge somebody.
Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade. I'm struggling to understand how judging you can make up for anything that happened.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Teventa, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I serve the living God. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Lord Erimond, any protection you thought you had has apparently been withdrawn. You will die. By my hand.
Petty actions. Truth lies in the next world.
Another of the lingering pains of Adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe. You were free to rejoin your comrades, and yet you present yourself here.
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
supposed to do that? I usually never have. But no, I haven't usually been exiling the wardens.
Saruth, I'm not a blade you can fall on to hide from your responsibilities. There's no shortage of ways a warden can die. Drag this deserter back to the Order.
I can't do this anymore. I never asked for this.
Well, I don't know. Never even chose that option before. Okay.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
This thing I was just talking about when I watched, well, maybe it would have been in the previous video before Here Lies the Abyss. Okay, Cole Bot says this on Twitter. I mean, or this is something Cole says in the game for sure, because I know. Steel flashes like at the top of the stairs, but this time she knows her voice and it ends with the kiss. Now, doesn't that sound like it would be Josephine? Because Josephine talks about someone in the stairs and they start fighting and he falls down and she takes off his mask and it's a guy and... Well, this is like Steel. This time she knows her voice and it ends with a kiss. This time it's talking about a girl. I don't understand.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army?
Sounds like it should
Why
be
would they follow the
Josephine.
Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
Oh, shoot. Can I back up? Ah, crap. I got too quick about it. My rogue. No, don't matter. Can't talk to you because you'll be downstairs. I have to reload this. Can't just turn it off in the middle of a scene. I'd actually have to. Well, fine. I'll turn it off. Sorry. No, that'll stop the whole broadcast though, won't it? Ugh, just wait. If I turn it off, I think I have to start the whole broadcast over.
Political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand...
Skip.
Whether we act as his allies, or...
Imagine what the Inquisition...
Skip.
They will be telling stories
again.
of this. My people have found the...
Is that the Inquisitor?
Okay. Ready to return now, Liliana. Why? Just checking. Okay. This that I never end up doing. I don't know if we even know if it works. besides that it says enter Hallam Straw with all your players. I don't understand. I asked on Twitter and people say, yeah, you just have to have it turned on for the party. And
Any news on why Corypheus is sending people to explore elven ruins of all things?
No, I suspect he keeps the reason secret, even from his inner circle.
okay, you gotta go rescue some dwarves over here now.
Inquisitor.
We have to reach the Empress.
The assassin.
We shouldn't...
Oh, I forgot I had to fight with her. Well, whatever. It's like, maybe I should take her once. I usually ignore her.
The political situation in Hallam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellen. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
And which one was the rightful one again? I keep getting them confused.
The handsome, charming one, of course, my lady. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you.
He doesn't call
My
himself
lady,
the handsome,
are you
charming
prepared
one
to shock
when
the
he's
court by
talking
walking
to a
into the Grand
male.
Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
Just thought that was funny. But
I can't imagine that
noticed
crowd has
that.
seen anything better than us in their entire lives.
I usually
You're a
don't
woman after
play
my own
male very often anyway.
As a friend, perhaps there is a matter you could
Do it
undertake
so I can
this
get all the
evening.
romances
This
done.
elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage! Oh, make a forbid!
This is Catherine's idea of a joke.
Automatically dropped off 10 points.
There must be something here.
You there! Rabbit! Have you seen a ring?
It was a gift from the Comtesse Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. She will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
What's your game? Are you trying to convince the Comtesse that you treasure her gift? Or just to gain importance by getting the Inquisitor to run a menial errand for you?
What? That was... This is negative.
I assure you, the ring truly is lost. And I must find it or risk terrible repercussions. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know.
Like...
Mika, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure. I cannot believe you found it. You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
Most of the time I didn't talk to her.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A Danish? No, that's him.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois-you.
I don't need to go into a door and waste my holla. I don't have a mod or anything.
Do you mind? We don't wish to be disturbed.
Never get enough hollows to unlock all the doors anyway.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
Am I doing it again, or did that just forget to go away? What is it doing?
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You were safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Cassandra is usually not the subtle or cautious type.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Great, I already took 25 minutes.
Gaspar never struck me as pious. I must think he gains military advantage with the Inquisition.
This dress uniform is preposterous. Formal armor would have been better.
I need to have this jacket let out a little.
If nothing else, the
How could
Inquisition
the
back in
Empress afford
Gaspar.
to renovate the palace without war?
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations tonight?
His Majesty King Aramark has made considerable progress in finding Randall's army.
Interesting. Good to know.
What is Gaspar?
I wish there was more news coming from the Grand Cathedral.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
Well, that's useful.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor. And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Lavellen. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
Remember to smile. This is all for show, my dear.
Champion of the blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the
They could
Inquisitor,
have at least put some
Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra,
dress
Portia, Calogera,
a dress that you could
Philomena,
choose
Get
at least
on with it.
for
Pantagast,
either just
14th
one
cousin to the
standard
King of
dress
Navarra,
or something
9
you could
times
pick
removed,
a few different
Hero
colors.
of Orlais, right hand of the divine.
I mean, it's
Madame
just
Vivienne,
stupid that they don't
first
give you a
enchanter of the
dress.
Circle of Magi, enchanter of the Imperial Court, mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine, the Lady Inquisitor's elven serving man, Solus, Sir Callum Stanton Rutherford of Honleaf, Commander of the Forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall,
Vivian actually
Lady
call her
Liliana,
a mistress.
Nightingale of the Imperial Court, veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I have no words to suffice. Halam Shiral has many beauties, and I couldn't do them justice.
Your modesty does you credit, and speaks well for the Inquisition. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want for anything? Papa's perfectly happy in the studio. Mother is the same as always. Meaning she's after you to do more work. You always take her side. I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does, you might attend to more of the estate's duties. Also, do stop slouching.
Anselmo, under Gardener Valmontaigne and paramour to the Duchess. Lord Severin Ducey, Baron of Jada, accompanied...
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her? Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them. Where did you hear such nonsense? Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Of course, every word. Especially the parts where everyone was nude.
I knew it.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors.
You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of. The dancing is so dull, Your Worship, but the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Okay, I keep...
Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
I'll see you later.
Another time. Can you believe the Inquisition still its strength? I had hoped to tour the world with friends.
I have heard there are the finest. Such a
Relax. Okay, that don't really matter.
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
Anything happening I should know?
Keep an eye out for Celine's pet apostate. I've no doubt she's involved in this.
It seems like you enjoy this, Vivienne.
This is the game, Inquisitor. Of course I enjoy it. If I didn't, I'd be dead by now.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian fascination with masks?
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people in Orlais. Who you are as a daughter, a lover, a friend are very different people from the Inquisitor and Herald of Andraste. Orlesians codify this truth, make it visible. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear. Don't worry so much, my dear. I'll be ready when the time comes to strike.
Tell me, Vivienne, where do you want the crown to fall?
What I want is irrelevant, darling. Orlais requires stability, and that is best served by Empress Celine.
Be ready.
Laurent was the love of my life.
Can I get
I
you a
heard
drink?
Celine was having the Inquisitor. Did you need something? But the sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Why would she do such a thing now?
Oh, no, what I'm supposed to do in between there is Cullen's addiction? I don't, like, skip it, do I?
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know. They won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
I'll let you know at once if I do.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
I'm gonna have a problem if... Okay, now does this stay here? Okay, well this is my save when I closed out the game, I guess, so... That just means I didn't judge those couple people yet. Yeah, I wandered past Liliana. No, I didn't see Liliana yet.
Did you just grab my bottom?
Yeah. Crazy people. Grabbing Cullen.
Are you up to anything at all, Josie?
We can only hope Celine prefers tonight. Gaspard will ruin us.
Good. I was hoping it would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivienne was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
Okay, everything in my sign into my so-called main account, Twitter, I keep going up in followers and I'm not doing anything on it. So it's very strange that I keep going up in followers, and my real only one I'm consider my main, the one I'm really using is the RP one, and it's not going up in followers. I've dropped like 3 followers today for some reason. That's supposed to light up again. Anything going on here yet? Okay.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
There must be something here.
I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
Do you have any interest in dancing?
A great deal. Although dancing with an elven apostate would win you few favors with the court. Perhaps once our business here is done.
The PlayStation Pro actually fixes hat, or is that...
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you encountered any trouble with the nobles?
The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, and the servants have been happy to refill my glass.
I'll be back.
And well.
Interesting. Waste of time.
Supposed to come back when I don't get something?
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight?
The Empress says.
Gaspar is wasting his time.
Interesting. Boring.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord.
Just gossip. Just gossip. Waste of time.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this filly, running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
Hey.
Well, that's useful. Boring.
Does anyone really think the war will end?
Inquisitor Llewellyn, don't head into the servants' wing if you value your neck. Not one else gone in there tonight and come out again.
Our man was supposed to make a pickup in the garden hours ago. Bastard's likely dead by now.
God, they don't have someone wandering around the palace to clean up the blood.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Well, well. What's this?
I am not told until we get home. Fine by me.
Get these pastries.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor! May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Did you need something? You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me. This is a private conversation.
Did I hear correctly? If you're interested in bringing the Templars to heel, you may have found an ally.
If that's true, I would welcome an alliance with the Inquisition. I will get in touch with your Lady Nightingale. I have assets that might benefit your cause.
Gentlemen.
Well, that's useful.
I didn't expect the Inquisitor to be so
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
There's already a bell. First of all, I'm opening the doors. Well, I guess the rest of it's gonna have to wait. Cole's not even here.
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
We may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering recent events.
Recent events?
Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Lady Solange Lévesque, Marquise of Montvert, ambassador to the court of Devara, accompanying the...
I still remember the day. You are an interesting one. A Dalish in the Winter Palace. More genteel than the Grand Duke.
Taller than her.
Put this lot in their place, hasn't it?
I'd like your opinion of this guy.
At least it should be amusing.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Good evening, milady.
Come back later to ask her to dance?
Mistress Nightingale.
Look at Lady Cambian's slippers. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambian's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambian acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Olay. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this. If you find more, let me know.
I should go.
Is that a feathery hat
I always am.
floating around?
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of course. Celine has something up
Inquisitor,
her sleeve.
to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. What can you tell me about the other parties involved in the talks?
Gaspard is a decorated general, much beloved by the Imperial army, and a legend among chevaliers.
He is better suited to the battlefield than the throne, and he would gladly make his palace a war camp.
He's also fiendishly charming.
Lady Briella has great intentions to change the lives of the elves for the better.
Even if her plans could never work and would only provoke hate crimes against alienages.
She is an idealist, but her lack of patience could prove disastrous.
It seems strange to hold peace talks during a ball.
Oh, do your people have no customs surrounding great occasions? How sad.
By Orlesian tradition, moments of great solemnity are celebrated with revels and feasts.
while joyous occasions are given time for reflection and contemplation.
We must never forget that life is both bitter and sweet.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future, while we mourn those killed in the war.
What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Olesians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Olesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfells.
And she throws the best parties.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care!
Inquisitor Lavalin, how many of the guests have mistaken you for a kitchen servant? You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What can you tell me about Celine and Gaspard?
Gaspard is a warmonger. He served in the war against Ferelden and fought a dozen skirmishes on the Navarran border. He's a simple man. Simple men aren't hard to manipulate. Celine is the voice of reason in the Empire. But reason is cautious. Reason looks for compromise. Reason doesn't choose radical change, however sorely it may be needed.
I had a question about you, Briala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean, we had a falling out?
She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
You might be interested in what I've found. It's about Gaspard. He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier Code.
He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier Code.
I want to know more about the peace talks. You might be interested in what I found. It's about you, actually. You murdered negotiators and stole their documents.
In Orlesian politics, Inquisitor, murder and intrigue barely count as trying. If that shocked you, wait until Celine shows her hand.
I found the drop point, Briala. I know your people are hidden all over the palace.
Of course they are. I'd be a poor spy master if I didn't have spies, Inquisitor.
Very true.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
My friend, come in, have a drink. You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I'd like...
All of Orle knows my story. The heart of it is simple. They gave the crown to her, and I. Celine outplayed me, forming alliances on the council for support. So they passed over me in her favor.
Just what are you claiming? Her crown or her head?
If Celine loses her head, it will not be my doing. I want my empire. I do not wish harm on my cousin, but I would not weep at her demise.
I have a question about the peace talks. What are you hoping?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celine stole the crown through politicking, but I am the rightful emperor of Orle. The empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
What action did you have in mind?
The empire is declining. We cannot allow Nevarra and Ferelden to chip away our borders. I will see Orle return to glory as the strongest nation in Thedas.
You intend to return to expansionism.
I like to solve problems in the simplest manner, my friend.
How is that the simplest matter?
What can you tell me about Celine and Briala?
Brianna may be called ambassador, but she is purely a spy. She works towards some hidden agenda. Elves have no place in politics. Her presence here is suspicious. Celine is a skilled player in the game. She knows how to get her way with a few words and a smile. But the game is a farce. I will prove that a few hundred chevaliers are better than diplomacy.
What will be going on in these negotiations?
We will whittle one another down with words until we are bored into agreement. Celine will talk circles. Somehow, by the time they stop serving drinks, our war will be ended. Politics, my friend.
What calamities befall us if they stop serving drinks early?
If we're lucky, another war will break out. I cannot abide the game, my friend. I prefer my enemies armed and facing me. I like clear winners and losers. Give me a battlefield, Inquisitor. I will show you who the victors are. When I am Emperor, there will be changes. No more of this courtier's nonsense. The nobles may not like it, but after a few lose their heads, they'll fall in line.
You didn't extend this invitation out of the goodness of your heart, Grand Duke.
As you might have guessed, I'm not the most political man. If the nobles believe the Inquisition supports me, it will help in negotiations. And I take joy in watching the scandalized expressions when they see us together.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
Duke Gaspard has made a fortune at home.
I have an idea, Josephine.
The
You can invite
Empress
all
will
the
get us through
family
this.
to Skywood.
Don't you worry. Did you see Gaspard dance?
I'm so glad Maman did not want to attend. She always ruins everything. Not as much as you.
Lady Inquisitor.
Good evening, milady.
Why don't I get to ask her to dance?
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
Leave us.
This could be worth checking out.
Someone will be held accountable for this.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for. Better take a closer look. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
This man was a Council of Herald's emissary. Curious to find him here.
The crest of the Chalon family. Duke Gaspard will answer for this.
Time to have a word with the Duke. Venatori agents!
Got somebody's armor.
The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
I actually put a warden helmet on her and didn't do anything else. And a Venatori tome.
An elven locket, stored away in a palace safe. Unwise, Celine.
Fancy meeting you here. Shouldn't you be dancing, Inquisitor? What will the nobility say?
No doubt there's a line of people breathlessly waiting for dances with me.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Errol's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
Gaspard killed him, I think. The knife has a Chalon crest on the hilt.
I knew it. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
The Empress needs to know what's going on.
You can try to warn her. She won't believe anything from me. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador. I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
It's the game, my dear. Everyone plays it here.
This isn't where I'm going, is it? Get lost.
I should look around. Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
Is it true what they say? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell.
If you'd like. You'd only be gone.
Philippe.
You're right.
I'm supposed to examine the library, too. Look at my approvals all the way up. I have to turn into the...
I need more servers in the ballroom. Where is everybody? Is it my imagination?
Or are there more Inquisition honor guards now than there were before?
You're seeing things.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
Just gossip.
So my court approval is already up. Oh, the point is I could have went back to the library the other way. I'll hit the last bell and then... Or do I... If I come in even later, are they gonna have... Okay, there's the last bell and then there's... What? Is there anything negative after that? Or if I just don't return at all, they'll kick me out or something. Coal? Why isn't he here? Did I not bring coal? Or wait, no I didn't. The Krogan. The crazy eel thing. Is that a deep stalker?
Inquisitor Lavalin. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Why am I not at all surprised that you want to see me now?
This is Orlais, Inquisitor. Nothing happens by accident. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. Have the Dalish gained a sudden passion for politics? What do you know about our civil war?
What do you think I ought to know?
My brother and my dear cousin have been at each other's throats for too long.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Florian?
I hope we are of one mind on this.
In times like these, it's hard to tell friend from foe. Is it not, Your Grace?
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
If I've learned anything, Your Grace, it is to put my trust in no one.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
I'd happily do more dancing, just not with Corypheus.
I promise not to invite him to your next ball.
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
The Grand Duchess tried to convince me Gaspard is the traitor, but I'm not sure I buy it.
Florian and her brother are thick as thieves, but she would give him up in an instant to save herself.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I won't stand by and let her die.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais?
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thales.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
How should I support Briala? I assume she can't be Empress.
She can't. She can, however, be the power behind the throne, with Gaspard.
True. She could never control Celine, not with their history.
So Celine dies and Gaspard takes the throne. Briala would need a way to control him, some kind of leverage.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access, and in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
Got to change the number on the video, and it is about 2 hours. Okay. Now where is... you?
Lady Inquisitor.
Why not?
At least too few Imperial guards.
Goody.
Why is there not option to dance?
Mistress Knight.
Yeah. So many crimes of fashion.
I found...
Excellent.
Only 16.
Inquisitor was any doubt of the faith I am trusty.
We meet again. Given any thought to what I said?
Of course, Briala.
What exactly would the Inquisition get by moving things in your favor?
My spy network doesn't span just the Dales, Inquisitor. It spans the Empire. And even expands beyond its borders. Ears like these don't miss much. Help us, and the secrets of half of Thedas could be within your grasp.
I found an elven locket hidden among Celine's things. This isn't yours, is it?
Let me see that. She kept this. What was she thinking? If Gaspard had found this, it would have ruined her.
It might have meant something to her.
Maybe it did. She held on to it.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor. Is there something we may do for you?
We will speak to the Empress on your behalf.
I made a fascinating discovery. An elven locket in the Empress's vault.
Oh dear. That is very interesting.
I'll get Her Majesty.
Oh dear, I was in the Empress's vault.
Inquisitor, I regret that we did not have time to speak earlier. No doubt you have questions about many things.
I found an elven locket sealed in the palace vault. You must have considered it quite valuable.
It was... sentimental. I don't know why I kept it. It was a foolish thing to do.
What made the two of you part ways?
She wanted change, and she thought I should deliver it. My word is law, Inquisitor, but laws don't command people's hearts. Culture does not transform itself overnight. I failed her. I should have dared more, but the past, like so many things, is beyond my command.
Maybe you kept it because you still care for Briala.
Perhaps I do. But I cannot put her above all the people of my empire. Dispose of the locket however you like. It means nothing to me.
It is always good to see you, my friend. You seem better at making friends among the nobility than I. Well done.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about you, in fact. There's a Council of Heralds emissary in the servants' quarters. Stabbed to death with your knife.
No. That's impossible. Who would try to pin such a crime on me? The elf? It seems unlike Celine.
I have the orders issued to your general to sneak troops into the palace.
Of course I did. The Winter Palace is hardly neutral ground for our peace talk. I would be disappointed in Celine if she were not using this opportunity to set a trap. And while we rarely agree on anything, I have never yet been disappointed in our Empress.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
Where has that servant gone?
Anyway, yeah, it's time to end the video, and I'll do this tomorrow. See if I end up with more time to record tomorrow. I got more roleplay fiction story going on, so I didn't get on earlier to play. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and have a good night or day if that is you, and goodbye.